Hi everyone. This is going to be a very interesting week, and it probably already has begun to be that way. For a lot of you out there that are experiencing strong emotions and your moods fluctuating, this is all part of what is happening and leading up to Sunday, which is going to be this weekend. We have a new moon occurring, but it's not just any ordinary regular new moon that is occurring. It's actually also a solar eclipse that is happening on that particular day with this new moon that is occurring. And so when you combine a regular new moon and then a solar eclipse and the sign of Pisces, this is all going to happen in the sign of Pisces, which is our watery sign, intuitive, a very intuitive sign. It makes a formula for some very intense and interesting things to happen. Now, with any solar eclipse, basically what happens is the moon and the sun align, and there's the sun, and there's a part of the moon that's invisible to the human eye, to us, but that so speaks to almost like the invisible part of ourselves, are the hidden pieces of ourselves that we cannot see or that we may not want others to see and we may not want to deal with. And so those are going to be illuminated by the sun. So you have the moon right in front of the earth, which is what we're seeing. The backside of the moon is being is covering the sun, but the sun at the same time is sending all of this radiation and all this light, and that's what makes the moon visible to us during this time. So a lot of the aspects of ourselves are being illuminated at this time. They're coming to the forefront and making us deal with these issues head on, because a lot of us we tend to ignore, some of the things that are happening in our life. So with this new moon, it's a very interesting part, in time, because a lot of these things that are hidden, this could be some emotions that you've been keeping to yourself. This could be overall just things that that you've kept bottled in. This is the time to kind of somewhere or another, it's going to be released and it's going to be exposed. So it's a good time to do a lot of self-healing around this time frame, and with this new moon that's going on. So it's very interesting, and you'll see, just like there is going to be any new moon brings about new birth, um, and the full moon's almost like the endings, that are occurring. There's always something that can be catastrophic that is going to happen, or something that's going to be released that may not be so pleasant. So there's just something to keep in mind, and to keep, yourself at a very positive level this week. And around the weekend, try to spend some time every morning meditating and focusing on what you want to see manifest, and make positive affirmations about your life as well. Now, this is also an opportunity that I wanted to take to also discuss something else, because I haven't done too many videos lately that are like self-development videos. So I wanted to take some time to discuss another thing that has been on my mind, that I've seen and throughout my mediumship readings, and just overall, things that I've observed about. And this has to do with our loved ones when they cross over into the spiritual realm. A lot of times, there are things that they did when they were alive here that they may not have been proud of, and a lot of those issues come to the forefront when you're dealing with your loved ones. So what I'm finding is that a lot, some of the people here on the physical world that have lost a loved one, they still may be holding on to some kind of pain. Either that person that passed, caused some kind of pain in their life, or there was just some kind of, they were never there for them as much as that person that is still alive wished that that person would have been. Um, and so now they're dealing with a lot of uh, you know of these emotions, and it's kind of hard. Some people may be numb when their loved one passes, or they may not even consider them a loved one because they were never there in their life when they were alive. And so now this person's now in the physical, is in the spiritual realm, and the person that's here left behind has no emotion or holds reservations or anger towards this person that passed. And this is the thing that we need to understand, is that when someone that either we that was a loved one, or perhaps was a I shouldn't use the word love because not everyone that has family members that have passed may consider them a loved one. But if there's someone that you lost, let's say you were adopted and your biological father passed away, or you were, raised by your auntie, and maybe, somebody else passed away. You cannot hold anger or grudge towards these people forever. There's a time and a point in your soul's development that you will need to release this energy and make peace with it and then move on. Because the more, think about it, this person is already past. They're no longer in the physical world. They cannot hurt you. So whatever hurt that they did do when they were still alive, they're no longer there causing that hurt for you. So why are you still holding on to this? Why are you still holding on to the pain? And that's the question to ask yourself if you're tuning into this video and this situation, tends to hit close to home. You need to ask yourself, why are you still, holding on to this pain? What did the people do to you? The people that raised you, or the people who maybe did something. Why is that pain still so prevalent in you? Why haven't you been able to heal it? And it's not so easy. A lot of us that are doing this kind of work, spiritual work, or are on a spiritual path. We know that it's not like, the snap of your fingers to get over something that is so painful. The memory is always going to be there, but you owe it to yourself to find forgiveness for yourself, and move on from this situation. The soul itself, these people, let's say there was a person in your family who was, an alcoholic, and they never listened, and they created a rift, and it broke the family apart. This is an example. And this was your father, and you just held a lot of anger after he passed, and you held on to that. It's not doing you any good. The soul, when our soul passes from the physical world over into the spiritual realm, we go through a life review when we first come out of our body, and we're there with our angels and guides, and we go through a life review. So basically, we see everything that we have done in this physical world when we were alive, and who we hurt, what we impacted, and that has an impact on the soul. And so that soul is then, goes through some time, a time of healing up in the spiritual realm. They go through some healing there, and kind of reflect on their actions, and this determines where the soul actually goes up. What level of ascension does it go to? What level in the spiritual realm? Because there's different levels in the spiritual realm, and then that soul gets assigned to a specific level. It's kind of like school here on earth, and during this time, because time doesn't exist in the spiritual realm. So it could be years, earthly years, like 9 or 10 earthly years, and over there it's like maybe just one day, where the soul is actually learning and getting forgiveness, and trying to avoid these same patterns of occurring before they prepare to be reincarnated and brought back into Earth. So the soul, if there's someone that has hurt you and they have passed on now, and their soul in most cases has gotten some kind of forgiveness already. They've gone through the whole situation, and they're, now they feel more responsible, and they take accountability for what they did. Now, this is not going to be the case for every soul, because this wouldn't apply for souls that are still stuck here as earthbound spirits. A lot of these souls may not know, or realize the pain that they have caused because they haven't gone over into the spiritual realm. And some of them may be aware, but they're just as evil as they were when they were alive. But for the most part, those souls that have, crossed over into the spiritual realm and are happy, they have made peace, and the overall message is love. And they are, sorry for what they have done to you out there. So, if you're going through this situation right now where you are still holding on to those thoughts and they're very painful, and you can't find forgiveness in your heart, there is going to be a time, where you need to say, hey, I need to just move on from this and not think about it so much and not dwell it. Because if you really think about it, you thinking about all the pain and holding that anger still is not helping you. It's not helping your soul move on in the physical world that we're in now, and it's not helping you gain any kind of perspective in helping you release everything that's going on. So it's so important that you kind of that we learn, that we learn here in the physical world what is hurting us, what has hurt us, and everything that we consider pain is a lesson, and that lesson is for growth. It's not to hurt us, but it's something to grow, and it helps our soul grow and evolve, so we can be the better person and follow a more higher vibration here in the universal consciousness of Earth, where we're physically at. So a lot of you out there that are still, going through this, or running through your mind, why did this person, do the things that they did when they were living? And you may have had that question: um, are they sorry for what they've done? In most cases, yes. The answer is going to be yes, that they are sorry, and that they have learned, from their mistakes, because no soul can come back onto their physical earth without going through a cleansing, so to speak. And this cleansing, when I say that, I mean it's like school. It's like also healing. It's like someone doing some healing on someone. The soul gets healing on the other side by their angels or guides and the divine consciousness of the universe. So, this is one of the things that is very interesting. But it's something that, if you have lost someone that is on the in the spiritual realm right now, and you still haven't been able to make amends or find the healing that you need, um, it's a very important thing to find that healing some way, somehow. There's different ways to release this. You may not want to think about it, and that's what a lot of people do. They hold on to it, and it affects them, and they may not realize that it affects them, but it starts manifesting, as in eating issues, addictions, anger, and some of those same patterns start developing, and that person may pass it on to their children, or do the same things that they are angry at their loved ones who passed on, and not realize that they're doing the same things over and over themselves. So it's important, if you are in denial and you are not able to understand that this person that is passed can no longer harm you, and that you're still holding on to these issues. Yes, you may not forgive them, but you need to forgive them for yourself, at least for yourself, to get that peace of mind. If you haven't dealt with it and it's just been in the back of your mind, you may want to revisit that, um, and kind of write it down on a piece of paper. Write down the things that that you endured with this person, and then maybe fold it up and burn it, and let it be that as a release, a cleansing for yourself, for your soul, because ultimately here on the physical world, we all need to be in a place of love and to find happiness. And you can't be happy if you're still holding on to things that are hurting you, even if it's from your past. So that is something that's also very important to do. I'm also having a special right now, while I'm on the topic of all of this, for intuitive readings, psychic readings, mediumship readings, and past life readings. And a lot of these readings have been marked off up until Saturday, for up to 50% off. So if you're interested in a reading, please visit www.raymondguzman.net/shop. Or if you're just on my page, go to www.raymondguzman.net, and then go to the shop section, and you can schedule a reading with me, if you're needing some spiritual guidance, some advice, etc. Also, I wanted to talk about the spiritual questions. If you have a question, I can feature it here. I haven't actually received a lot of emails from people who have spiritual questions. Now, when I say spiritual questions, I mean not questions for like a reading, but questions like about chakras, about energy, maybe about souls and how they twin flames, and the theories of twin flames and soulmates. And those are the type of questions that I'm looking for. So if you have any questions, this is going to be like something that I want to do, but I need to have a lot of submissions, and then I can filter through them. And I didn't get too many this last time, so that's why I haven't done any of these weekly mini sessions, of these spiritual ask a questions and get the answers. So if you have any questions, that are spiritually related, again, not for a personal reading, please send them to my email. It's raymondguzman@hotmail.com. And then on the line, on the subject line of your email, just put spiritual question. And then in the body of your email, if you want to remain anonymous, just put anonymous and I won't mention your name. If you're fine with me mentioning your name, I'll just mention your first name and the first initial of your last name. You know, just to give you credit for your question, and then I'll provide you the answer live here on Facebook. So I want to thank you so much for tuning into this. And if you are on my Facebook page, it's at www.facebook.com/psychic medium Ray, and you can go to my page and like my page. If you're tuning into this from YouTube, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Underneath this video in the bottom right hand corner, there's going to be a red button that says subscribe, and you just need to click on that, and then you'll be notified anytime there are videos that I have, published. And you can also go to my Instagram, and that's at Psychic Medium Ray. So I look forward to doing more and more of these development videos, and thank you so much for tuning in. Blessings and love and light.